Валентина Скультэ. Английский для детей. Страница 339. Урок 33, часть 2. The 33rd lesson. Lily and Jimmy get into a scrape. The last week of October was a long chain of events. Owing to the hard autumn rains, 2 of the bridges across the river were destroyed by the flood, and people had to go up to London over the 3rd bridge far down the river. The last of all was Lily's adventure. When she and Jimmy got into a scrape, it was as follows. Uncle Melville, Mr. Dale's brother, sent a new series of detective stories from America to the Dales. As Jimmy could not read yet, he gave them to Sam, who was an excellent storyteller. Sam read the children a most thrilling story of an adventure in a very high building. There were lots of pictures there, showing all the principal deeds of the hero, but the most fascinating of all was the man's escape through the window from a famous detective. The picture represented an enormously high skyscraper with the man creeping along a narrow cornice that ran between the 2 upper stories. The children were quite fascinated. They decided to play at once. Jimmy and Lily quarreled a lot, for each one wanted to be a hero. As they could not settle the question themselves, they appealed to Sam, who generously agreed to be the detective and let both of the children to be the heroes. Jimmy got out of the window first and safely slid down the waterspout to the ground. Lily followed him. Страница 340. And crept very cautiously along the cornice running between the 1st and the 2nd story of the house. To be continued. Words scrape – беда, затруднительное положение. To get into a scrape – попасть в беду. Chain – цепь, ряда. Event – событие. Owing to – по причине, благодаря. To destroy – уничтожить, вывести из строя. Flood – наводнение. As follows – следующим образом. Series – серия, комплект не изменяется. Storyteller – рассказчик. Principal – главный, основной. Hero – герой, персонаж. To fascinate – пленить, очаровать, увлечь. Fascinating – увлекательный. Escape – побег. To escape – скрыться. To represent – представлять, изображать. Enormous – огромный. Enormously – чрезвычайно. Skyscraper – небоскреб. To creep – ползти. Crept – past participle. Narrow – узкий. Cornice – карниз. To run – проходить о линии о трамвае. Upper – верхний. Story – этаж. To settle – разрешать вопрос. To appeal to – обратиться к. Generously – великодушно. Safely – благополучно. Waterspout – водосточная труба. Задание. Translate into Russian. This chain is too short. The dog won't be able to run freely. Эта цепь слишком коротка, собака не может бегать свободно. Owing to your laziness, you've got a 2 again. Из-за твоей лени у тебя опять 2. The bridge was destroyed by the flood owing to the hard autumn rains. Мост был разрушен наводнением из-за сильных осенних дождей. The bus was going up the street, the other one down the street. Один автобус шел к центру, другой от центра. Where did you see the boat? I saw it far down the river. Где вы видели лодку? Я видел ее далеко внизу по течению реки. Is there any lake or pool in the neighborhood? Yes, there is a very deep lake not far from our wood. Страница 341. Do you like detective stories? Certainly. Вы любите детективные рассказы? Конечно. Early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy and wise. A proverb: кто рано ложится и рано встает, здоровье, богатство и умно живет. Пословица. Страница 341. Упражнение 3. Put into a passive voice and translate it. The autumn rains destroyed the bridge. At last the boy killed the snake with a stick. Uncle Melville sent them a new series of detective stories. Sam read all those books with pleasure. A month ago, those workers finished a 50-storied skyscraper. The story fascinated the children. They could not settle the question. He could not show them all the principal deeds of the hero. Упражнение 4. Put into active voice and translate it. The narrow bridge was not destroyed by the flood. All the children were safely carried across the river. 10 mice were caught by our cat in one day. The girls will be taken to the cinema too by us. When she returned, all the letters had been written by Mother. The work had been done before they left. The sun was covered by a thick dark cloud. I have been often scolded by my mother. The kitten has been bitten by the boy again. Упражнение 5. Translate from Russian into English. Active voice, passive voice.